And I realized that twerking, shimmying, undulating, shaking truly is a spiritual practice.
So deep, so deep. And by deep, I mean deeply stupid. All right, this video, the first video we are going to be reacting to, the one I'm going to show you guys, explores, the deep meaning behind twerking. I know you look at twerking and you're like, oh, I know what this is about. This is just, attracting the lustful glare of honey boys on Instagram. That's what this is. This is just seductive dancing. But according to these women, that's actually not the case. You see, this goes beyond just all of that. This is actually a process of healing and, restoration. Yeah, that's what I've been told. And if you don't believe me, well, check this video out.
Shaking is such a primal practice of releasing trauma and somatic blockages and emotions through our body, especially our hips. Our hips, now we know, is where we store emotions.
Yep.
So when you are twerking, when you're shimmying, you are literally releasing trauma, releasing stored emotions from your hips. When you're bending your knees, you're crouching on the floor, you're connecting to earth, you're connecting to the womb, you're restoring your energy. And that's why it's not even just an African dance, but in Middle Eastern dance, in Latin American dance, salsa dance, bachata, every single dance form has some form of hip movement to it. This is also why zebras, when they're running away from a lion and they're about to get eaten and they make it into the nick of time, they shake their bodies off, release the trauma, and they come back to homeostasis. So I started to realize that as I was doing this, I was healing myself through all of these generations of collective trauma that now we know with epigenetics is actually stored within our systems. And I realized that twerking, shimmying, undulating, shaking truly is a spiritual practice. And now I share it as much as I can.
So deep, so deep. And by deep, I mean deeply stupid. Like, do people listen to themselves? Like, as these words are coming out of their mouth, do these people, ever have a moment where they just pause and realize just how ridiculous, how absolutely ridiculous they sound? So those who are twerking are releasing trauma. So what are the people who are having sex? What are they doing? They're breaking ancestral curses. Like, how can a human being manage to be this moronic and stupid and still be alive? Like, how can somebody manage this and still be breathing? I mean, this is a miracle. This level of stupidity is nothing short of a miracle. Sadly, Americans don't believe in miracles, but every day I see proof that God is real when I watch Americans display stupidity. Like, do you need someone to explain what you are witnessing when you see a lady twerk? Are strip clubs now meditation centers for call girls? As in, is that how pimps convince this lady to dance for money? They're like, hey girl, do you want to release some trauma before the gawking eyes of creepy men? Is that what is going on? She said the hip is where we store emotions. Are you serious? Are you really serious? Like, is this another peer-reviewed scientific finding? I mean, is this one of those things you learn when you want to connect with your chakra? Did some Chinese monk with 3 feet beard come up with this conclusion? Or is this some epiphany you get after gulping a full cup of ayahuasca? What exactly is going on? I just want to understand what frame of mind, or what will get somebody to a frame of mind where they will come to these conclusions. Like, how? Like, you think about it. What will make someone say? What will make somebody say something as stupid as, listen, when you are crouching your hips or crouching on the floor, you are connecting to the earth. You are connecting to the womb. You are restoring your energy. I mean, what will make somebody say something this ridiculous? You watch National Geographic and you walked away thinking about childhood trauma and releasing childhood trauma when you saw a zebra narrowly escape the claws of a lion. Like, that's what you understood. That's the epiphany you had after watching National Geographic. Okay. Americans and people in the West, usually when I see people use words like homeostasis instead of normalcy or calmness, and use words like epigenetics, you believe these people are really smart and brilliant and they know what they are talking about. But the more I watch Americans just display utter stupidity while using big words, I realize that knowing big words doesn't immune you from the disease called madness. Anyway, the next video that we are going to look at features the incredible wisdom of the United States vice president. I mean, this woman is really inspirational. Listening to her can make you ascend to greater heights, make you realize just how anyway, I don't even know how to complete that sentence, and I don't want to sound like Kamala Harris, where you just string words together to come up with something really incoherent, which is something she's known for. But she's still a wise person. I mean, if she's not wise, how will she end up as the vice president? That's something Americans need to answer. Well, in this video, she tries to explain the difference between equality and equity. Two very different words. And she gives us great insights, and I want us to take a look.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place.
Well, at least she didn't cackle. She did not cackle, guys, and she did not try to use Venn diagrams. That's her favorite thing. If in case you don't know the vice president of America, her favorite thing is Venn diagram. She loves it so much she can't stop talking about it. And thankfully, this is not another word vomit that makes absolutely no sense. I know some of you, that's what you were expecting, but no, this actually makes sense. So I guess for her, that is a significant improvement. And that's something Americans should be proud of at this moment. Your vice president, your first female vice president, is finally able to say something that makes sense, even though it still resides deep within the ballpark of moronic. Like, I want to understand her. Is everyone going to end up in the White House under equity? Is it possible for everyone to end up in the White House? Does the White House have room for everyone? Can everyone be the vice president? How can everyone end up in the same place when that place cannot really accommodate everyone? As she's defining equity, she should also learn the definition of scarcity. I mean, it explains why equity, by her definition, is just ridiculous. Because we have limited resources at any given time to satisfy everyone's greed. We cannot all have the same thing at the same time. The only thing the earth can guarantee for us all in equal measure is extreme poverty. That's it. Also, not all of us want to end up in the same place. As she's learning about equity, she should also learn about the word called choice. Choice, guys. Choice. Because I really don't want to end up as dumb as she is. That's a place that I don't want to go. And I'm worried that equity will force people like me to go places where we don't want to go. Because how else are you going to make sure everyone end up in the same place when that is something that not everyone wants? Not every place you think people should like is really what everyone likes. People have choices. People have free will. They get to choose where they want to go, how they want to end up. And they all don't want to end up in the same place. That's why we have to let people choose with their actions where they want to be and where they want to go. Okay? And one more word you should also learn is the word called incentive. Incentive. Write it down, Mrs. Vice President or Miss Vice President or Madam Vice President. I don't know how you people refer to her. One word you should learn is incentive. If everyone is bound to end up in the same place, then why should anyone work? What is the point of hard work? Why will anyone want to create, innovate, and make life easy for the rest of us? Do you know that the desire to be better is the driving force that creates everything we see in the world today? And if you take people's ability to be better than the rest of their peers, then everyone is just going to settle for mediocrity. And we'll end up creating a society of mediocres. That is what is going to happen. You see, equity, according to the vice president, her definition of equity just shows that what she's talking about is communism. And it fails to answer the question that this economic system raises. That is one thing that is common among people who are pushing this. If you watch people who are pushing this, you realize that they've not really thought about this well enough. They can't answer these questions. They paint a picture of paradise on earth, and none of them have ever stopped to ask, well, how is this achievable and sustainable, and who exactly is going to oversee the actualization of this utopia? Who? Who are we going to trust to bring this to fruition? Who? Because for this to be possible, you have to relinquish control. You have to give up your rights. And who will you trust to make that choice for you? Who exactly? All right, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed the video, then hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell. Also, I want to know in the comments what you think about, my reaction to the videos, and what you think about the people in the videos and things they are trying to communicate and say. And do you think it's ridiculous? Do you think it's laughable and cringe-worthy, or do you agree with them? Let me know. And until the next video, peace.